Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is an English version, English speaking video. So I do apologize for you guys that do follow me and only speak English. My apologies. Just I guess there's a lot more audience in the speak Spanish or mostly Spanish. So I've provided more information to them. But I wanted to give you a little bit of my way, my things. I always watch people, trainers, and listen to their belief systems and ways of training dogs. I do believe that any type of dog is going to be a better dog if he's well trained, well adjusted to the human environment. So I do that with my dogs to whatever extent they are able. Some cope better than others with things, so I have to just work around them. They are my teachers. I always say that. The teachers are my dogs. I listen to my dogs. I see where they're going. I see what they're thinking. I see how they're processing what I'm teaching them, or giving them access to, and then I go accordingly. They are my teachers. So a lot of the things I do now is because I learned from them. And one of the things I actually learned, listening to a guy, seems like a very knowledgeable person, and clearly his methods work. But I differ in one thing that he mentioned. Maybe I misunderstood, or maybe I took it out of context. Excuse me, I took it out of context. But he was talking about not using the word no. For me, the word no, it is the most valuable tool any dog owner could have. For me, the word no is the first and most universal word that you can have between you and your dog, or that your dog can understand. Because when it's a puppy, you can't really teach it much. You can only guide it by what the dog knows at the age of, let's say, 8 weeks. If the dog is 8 weeks old, you can't really train it much, but you can use what the dog is able to understand, which is, remember, it's a puppy. So in puppyhood, they're looking for guidance for danger and pleasure. So when you use the word no when you're trying to stop an action, then the dog starts recognizing that word, because it's something that puppy looks for in the mom. Obviously, the mom will teach it a little bit different without words, but you as well will be teaching with action. Like, for example, if it's chewing on a shoe, you will grab them gently by the scruff, not angry or anything, just and pull and say no, and then if it's chewing on something, you say no, and if it's still not understanding, you say no and pull them away from it, and if it's still persistent, you say no and hit them on the top or bottom of the head, just nudge, not hit them like smack them with the tip of tips of your fingers or something, so until it starts understanding the word no means stop what you're doing. Now, the person that I was watching, and I guess I'll give him let me find here we go. The channel is the Law of Distraction, and the video I was watching is how to raise a well-adjusted, family-friendly guardian. It's a Persa Canario puppy, and it is a beautiful Persa Canario puppy, to be honest. So if you want to take a look at it, go look at that video. It's a nice black Persa Canario, really nice and solid. He got the nice little white paw. And he's basically, the guy is more of a physical trainer, like he trains with physical actions. Like instead of saying no, the trainer basically is saying, go and with your body push him away from the toy or the whatever it was chewing on, and without saying no, just physical action. And that's very different from me, because at the end of the day, when the dogs are older, when the dogs are grown, I don't want to be doing that. I just want to be saying that word no, because that's one of the main ones. I teach them also leave it. When the word leave it as well is another another word that they recognize widely, and I don't have to go and grab them or touch them or anything else. Just from far away, I could say that. From far away, just like even I don't even have to be in the same room, and I could say that, and that's why I think that the word no is the most important training tool, because you can use it for many things. That if and all that growling is just basically saying, give me my space, and it's all normal. It isn't going to attack. Nobody's going to attack anybody here, so see this guy, he was greedy. This champion Simone here, he was greedy. I guess they're kind of getting so bored or used to eating venison, lucky dogs, that he was like, okay, I gave him one. It was a nice thick one, but I guess he felt there was something better coming up. So he left his meat and came and lost, So the dog that I had not given yet the meat, the neck, took his. So I'm like, all right, now you just gotta wait for the leftovers. He's not skinny by any means. It's actually fat, a little fat now. I consider this a little fat, but it is what it is. This is the winter, so I'm fattening him up. Just but he's just he's gonna have to wait until tonight. At night I give him some more, and perhaps I put some vitamins in their water. I have a powder that's vitamins and minerals that I can mix in their water so that they can take anything that they're missing. They're getting it there. Here's my other one. He's done, and he's like, all right. But what am I going to do with these? These probably I'm going to eventually, when I have space in the freezer, I'm going to gather them all in their freezer, not mine. I'm going to gather them all and put them in the freezer. And then once they're done with deer, which is going to take maybe another month or so, 2 months. Once they're done with the meat, they'll go back to eating regular meat and chewing on pig feet or hog feet. They're really pig. They're just hairy pigs, So they're going to be continuing to chew on pig feet, but again, now by July or so, I'm going to be pulling these beautiful things out. They're going to be frozen, so they're going to be good for chewing and keeping them cool, Now, some people have issues with how I manage my dogs. Hey, leave her. Captain, leave her. He's kind of testing the water to see if he could, persuade her to leave the things. But here you go. See ya? This is all natural. I let Copy. Move back. Move back, Copy. No. Back. No. I did a Cecil Milan thing like that. Right there. Yeah, sometimes you have to do a physical. Hey. Copy. Out of there. And now I did like a little movement, like I was gonna get up, but I'm not. I prefer not having to get up and do something. Now he's coming over here like more of a, I love you and sorry for being a naughty boy. Hey, Papa. And no, I don't let them come up on my sofas with bones. I let them chew them here. And then I wash these things later on. Not every day, but, But the dogs, these are just daytime things. The female, that she's the one that doesn't sleep in my room. She's most of the time she sleeps on the sofa. So, but anyway, this is my way. These dogs were social animals for over 100. Well, they've been domesticated for over 100,000 years. They Before that, they were pack animals. After that, they were still pack animals, and we have about, let's say, 100, 150 years of the creation of the American Pitbull Terrier that has fine-tuned some traits of the breed to be animal aggressive. It doesn't mean that if you have a cat and the cat and the dog, the puppy, grows up around the cat, and you're training them well, more than likely they will not attack that particular cat. Same way, they're not going to. They're the same way. Their genetics is going to, they're predisposed to attacking cats. So any cat that's not that particular cat is going to, not be safe. So just because your dog, any type of dog, not just American Pitbull Terriers, just because your dog it doesn't attack your house cat or a particular cat or a particular animal in your house does not mean that it's not going to attack anything that's not homebound or connected to the house, home. So I've tried, So I understand, especially I feel like the English side of the subscribers has a set mind on how a game dog or a game bred dog is supposed to be, and if you don't follow that script, then you're either destroying the dog or destroying the mental state of the dog. Instead of seeing that, move out of the way, my friend. Instead of seeing that, there's other ways. I would say that, if I had a clone of Mayday, if I had a clone of Grand Champion Buck, I would say that in my hands, those animals would be a lot more social. If I had raised them from puppies, they would be a lot more social than what they are now. Or what they were, or what they were, obviously, what they were. So, and I'm not taking away what they did as performers and producers. I'm just saying the mental state of the dog can be adjusted. You can trigger those pack mentality, that genetic, that dormant state of pack mentality, because again, it is there when when the puppies are young, when they're inside with their mom and little mates. It's there. They see this pack. They see the pack of being mom being the alpha, and the teacher, the guider, and then you have all the puppies, and then they're your siblings, and then obviously eventually what is normal in any pack will be who's who, trying to say who's who in a way of basically play fighting. They eventually start seeing who's who in the pack, who's who in the litter. But if you grab that particular dog, that 8-week dog, and you bring it to other dogs that were raised the same way. I'm not saying bring it to an adult dog that has never been, in this situation like that. I would say don't do, because if the dog did not have those connections made when they were little, then it's very unlikely that they are going to be good unless they're cold dogs. Like this dog here is a cold dog, Champion Simone. But when I had other dogs that I got them from as an adult, or they were a year and a half when I got them, this did not work. This would just be a time bomb waiting to happen, because those connections weren't there to begin with a year and a half. But I've had all these dogs except him Him, I had him for when he was 3 months. That's a typical Chico Lopez a delivery date. But the rest of them, I've had them since they were tiny. I think I had. If you guys follow my channel, I've posted his picture as a puppy. He was like 8 weeks, literally 8 weeks. He was. I think I had the pictures on the bed, real tiny, and that's when he was introduced to the dogs in my household. That's when things really developed for him, and we came, with having all his brothers and sisters, to my hands. So, and here I just follow the script of pack mentality, but obviously with him being the attacker, when he used to attack him a lot, and Cyborg, the other female that's eating, and that way he burned that, all the energy he needed to burn. Anyway, this is Tony Montana. Until next time.